starts with breaking news.
Now at 11, this breaking news from Malibu. A deadly crash on PCH involving several vehicles. One car virtually split in half. Good evening, everyone. I'm Colleen Williams. Right now, we know for sure that 4 people are dead and PCH is closed in both directions for the investigation. NBC4's Darsha Phillips live right now in Malibu with new details for us. Darsha?
Colleen, this is truly a horrific scene here on PCH in Malibu. You can see some of the carnage behind me. These cars, just a mangled mess of metal, some of them unrecognizable. And we do also see a lot of young people here, very concerned, some of them in tears. There were bodies strewn all across lanes of the highway. 4 people, as you mentioned, confirmed dead. We don't know anything about those victims at this time. Now, some of them that we were told were outside of the vehicles. 2 other victims in this crash were transported to the hospital. We do not know their conditions at this hour. Now, LA County Fire says this accident happened around 8:30, and right now it's not clear if the people who were killed were inside the cars involved or if they were pedestrians. LA County Fire says multiple cars were involved in this crash. Some cars ricocheted off of parked vehicles. Residents in the area call this stretch of PCH Dead Man's Curve. We're just south of Carbon Beach. Now, people who live here say people drive entirely too fast on PCH.
Sounded like a earthquake or a bomb or a meteor.
It was horrific to see that you didn't even recognize it as a car. It was so flattened. This corner up here is called Dead Man's Curve, and is notoriously has always been an area that has gotten, people don't understand that they need to slow down around that curve and they just lose control. And that's what happens, and it's pretty sad.
Now, people who live here say the fencing was taken down recently in this area, allowing beach access, and people are always crossing the road to get to the beach. Again, first responders do not know if the 4 victims here at the scene were ejected from vehicles or if they were pedestrians. LA County sheriffs will be here for several hours. If you can come back to our live picture here, you can see that a large portion of PCH is shut down, and we are told it will remain shut down, both the northbound lanes and the southbound lanes, for some time. Again, 4 people lost their lives here tonight in Malibu, and 2 others were transported to the hospital. Their conditions not known at this hour. Reporting live in Malibu, I'm Darsha Phillips, NBC4 News.
Tonight, President Biden continues his high-risk journey to Israel. The fate of the hostages is top priority for the president, but his trip already facing a major setback with the conflict intensifying there. A deadly airstrike that hit a hospital at the center of Gaza City has overshadowed President Biden's diplomatic visit. This airstrike only intensifying threats and the humanitarian crisis there. Hundreds of people were killed, including children, in this strike. Israel blames Palestinian militants, Hamas blaming Israel and calling it genocide. We spoke to a doctor who's in contact with medical teams working inside the hospital.
We have heard reports of injuries. Thousands of people have been injured. And so really right now, we're just trying to find out who's safe. And so this attack is just utterly devastating because, of course, you know, people who are sick and who are hospitalized are unable to move or to evacuate. And so they had no chance to be able to get to safety before these bombs were dropped.
Tonight, NBC News spoke to a senior Hamas official who said that the group is willing to release all civilian hostages immediately if Israel stops its bombing campaign of Gaza. New tonight, protests have been erupting in the Middle East all over this hospital strike. Lebanon has raised its travel advisory to a level 4, telling Americans not to travel to that country after this protest in front of the U.S. Embassy. All non-emergency U.S. government personnel have now been authorized to leave the country. And people of the Jewish faith from all over the world are leaving their jobs and their homes and heading to Israel to fight in this war. You're about to meet a 21-year-old from Southern California. Like so many, he is on the front lines. And like so many, his life is so different than it was just 10 days ago. Our Robert Kovacic spoke with this reservist called up to serve. Robert.
Colleen, as we mentioned last night, it started as a simple request to his family to send warm socks to him in the Middle East. And it started what his dad calls a humanitarian project here at home. Take a look at what we're talking about. So many donations collected at Beverly Hills Synagogue, not just for the military, but for displaced families in Israel, that someone had to donate a cargo plane to get all of that from L.A. to Israel. And now tonight, a conversation with a battle-ready soldier from Southern California. With no regrets,
I wouldn't sacrifice my life for anything else.
In an uncertain moment in history,
we are ready for what comes next, for whatever that might be, even if we do or don't know.
A 21-year-old with determination.
We want things to just go back to the way that they were, just before really that everything just got so crazy and everything just took such a wrong turn.
Sergeant Meir Dunner left home in Beverly Hills to fight for Israel.
I could make more of a difference being here on the front lines than I can in the comfort of my own home back in America. And I must say, it's been one of the most incredible decisions of my life.
And he is not alone.
This is the calling. This is, and so many more Americans I've met who have answered this calling. So many.
Speaking with us at 3 a.m. from an undisclosed location, Sergeant Dunner can reveal little. Asked if he knows when the ground operation will begin.
No. And if I did, I couldn't tell you.
But as the conflict escalates,
there are rockets coming in from Lebanon. There are rockets coming in from Gaza.
So does the resolve.
I'm already in dangerous territory. There are people here with families. There are people here with lots of loved ones that theoretically may not see them again. And we're here and we're fighting.
As for those he is fighting for,
ever since the war started, there's a tension. It's a very big tension that something can just go down at any second. Really just, and when I say go down, I mean like people could break down crying. People could get into fights with other people. Just a very, very intense feeling. A lot of emotions, unprocessed emotions that people don't really know how to feel.
But Sergeant Dunner knows what must be done.
We're more than prepared and happy to fight for the well-being of our country.
Now, while we were having this conversation with Sergeant Meir Dunner, his father, the rabbi of Beverly Hills Synagogue, Peeny Dunner, was home in L.A. listening in. Here are his reactions.
Great pride and great fear. He is a warrior, and he's naturally poised to do what needs to be done in order to protect Israel, the Jewish people, and the free world. That's the type of soldier we need.
Before we said goodbye to Sergeant Meir Dunner, we asked him, will this war end quickly? He said, from where he stands, it doesn't look like it. I'm Robert Kovacik. Colleen?
Robert, thank you for that. Meantime, there was a vigil in Garden Grove tonight for a Palestinian-American child killed in an alleged hate attack in Illinois. The Council on American Islamic Relations in Orange County held this vigil to honor the life of a 6-year-old, Wadia Al-Fayem. Tonight's vigil comes as hundreds of people packed a mosque in Illinois for the child's funeral. Police say the suspect in this case is the family's 71-year-old landlord.
The last few days have been very heavy for us. No child deserves to feel insecure, feel threatened. Every child is precious. Every child deserves protection. 6-year-old was attacked, viciously attacked, stabbed 28 times.
Right now, the suspect faces murder and hate crime charges in the state of Illinois. The FBI and the DOJ have also said they're opening an investigation into possible hate crime charges on a federal level. We will continue to follow the very latest developments on the Israel-Hamas war. NBC News will offer a special report on air when President Biden arrives in Israel. And for updates when we're not on the air, simply download the NBCLA app or go to the NBCLA.com website. New at 11, a building in El Monte was evacuated tonight after a package with white powder was found. This was found on the 4th floor of the building on Flair Drive. According to LA County Fire, 3 people were exposed to the powder. Firefighters say those 3 people are not experiencing any symptoms. Still no word on exactly what it was. All right, taking a breather now, taking a live look at LAX. You see a lot of people heading into the airport tonight. Melissa McGee is here now with your first alert forecast. Melissa.
Hi, Colleen. And we're starting to see temperatures tonight cool down. In fact, I want to show you the picture outside. We're looking live from San Pedro, our camera atop the USS Iowa. Patchy fog starting to roll in as well. San Pedro right now coming in at 67 degrees. The winds are calm at this hour, but new tonight, check out the visibility. We're down to 7 miles for the basin, a quarter of a mile there in Oxnard and Ventura County, and 4 miles there in Santa Ana. In fact, for areas in Orange County, we are currently underneath a dense fog advisory, and this will stay up until 9 a.m. on Wednesday because visibility reduced down to a quarter of a mile or less in some spots. Temperatures right now in the 60s and 70s, 66 for West Covina. We've got 70 in Ontario. We'll talk about what we can expect tomorrow. Wednesday and Thursday, a heat advisory issued for the Inland Empire, so those look to be the hottest days. Summer feel up ahead tomorrow and Thursday, but as we get into our Friday and into our weekend, a dramatic cool down will be on the way. We'll talk about these temperatures coming up with your first alert forecast. Colleen, over to you.
All right, Melissa, we're going to take you out to the scene of breaking news right now in Hollywood. News Chopper 4 over a shooting that apparently involves someone in a Bentley. Ileana Moreno joins us live. Ileana, what do we know about this?
Colleen, we know that the shooting happened somewhere near the area of La Brea and Fountain because it was to this Shell gas station where that driver in that Bentley drove himself after being shot. Now, we were overhead literally about 2 minutes after the shooting happened, just as police were arriving on scene. So we got a good look at that victim. He was shot in the face, but he was conscious and breathing and talking to those officers and firefighters as he was wheeled away in an ambulance. His condition beyond that is unknown at this time, and the search is still on for whoever shot him. The motive is unknown, but the little information that we have so far about the shooter is that it was a man who got out of a black vehicle, shot the victim, and then took off. That's latest here from Hollywood. In News Chopper 4, I'm Ileana Moreno. Let's send it back down to you in the studio.
All right, Ileana, thank you for that. Also, we have new details in that deadly shooting of 3 people in Toluca Lake. Tonight, investigators believe the victims were targeted. This was not random. We first brought you this story last night at 11, and police say a group of men in a silver car shot at another group of people in another car, a second car. People who live nearby shocked by what happened in this typically quiet community.
It normally is such a safe area.
When you hear in a community like this where things like this just don't generally occur on a regular basis, it's just incomprehensible.
The 4th person was also hurt. That person is now recovering. NBC4i team has learned the targets were a group visiting from out of town. So far, no arrests have been made. And a security guard shot while sitting in his patrol car in Orange County today. And tonight, police have arrested 1 person in connection with that shooting. This happened this morning around 11 on Oso Parkway and Bridlewood in Laguna Hills. Still not clear what led up to the shooting, but the security guard was taken to the hospital and is said to be recovering. Still ahead here at 11, a battle over children's books in Huntington Beach. The debate where certain titles should be placed in the library. Plus, a teddy bear left in a parking lot explodes. The video just released, the arrest made, and what police discovered when they got to the house.
Tonight,
that's hot.
Jimmy welcomes Issa Rae and Paris Hilton in a flip shot showdown. Plus, stand up from Jared Freed and a National Pasta Day challenge. New Tonight Show.
narrow is no good. That's why I wear new wide-fit, hands-free Skechers slip-ins. You just step in and go with no bending down. They even go on easy sitting because wider is better. Even I could have made that. Try new wide-fit Skechers slip-ins.
A car accident can shatter your world, but at Jacoby and Myers, we want to help you get back to where you were before. Taking on insurance companies, hospital bills, medical care, whatever you need to get back to the life you love. Jacoby and Myers, because everyone deserves justice.
Lease the 2024 Genesis GV80 for $649 per month. Exclusively at your local Genesis retailers.
A group of men attacked Carvajal, his daughter standing right next to him. Every single penny they had was taken from them. After our story aired, support from the community began to pour in. He says he can give his daughter a better life.
Feliz, me siento feliz.
Right now, a Huntington Beach City Council meeting continues. The City Council is considering a new review board that would decide what children's books should be allowed in the library and on what shelves. NBC4's Macy Jenkins live now with more on what's happening. Macy?
Hi, Colleen. Well, that resolution in question calls for parental consent when it comes to checking out books that have any kind of sexual nature or sexual content. And that review board would actually consider and review books that are going to be in the library in the future. Now, supporters say it's all about protecting kids. Opponents call it unconstitutional censorship. Well, public comment is still underway, and the City Council is still some time from a vote.
It's about banning ideas. It's about marginalizing groups of people. It is simply trying to keep this sexual perversion out of the hands and eyes of our children.
A lengthy and heated discussion about library books at the center of tonight's City Council meeting in Huntington Beach. Mayor Pro Tem Gracie Vandermark raised the issue back in June with a proposal to make what she called obscene or pornographic library books and media unavailable to minors. If passed, her resolution would prohibit children from accessing any book with any sexual content and require parental or guardian permission to check out certain books.
If the parental control card will give the parents another option, so no one's forcing a parent to get this card.
Some calling the resolution too broad.
I'm thinking, how is this vague definition going to be handled about any reference of sex?
I wonder if that covers things like kissing, flirting. I think it would bar out a lot of classic books, including Dracula, Gone with the Wind.
The city has not released a list of books in question, but supporters cite books that depict nude cartoon drawings and sexual acts they say they found in local libraries.
We are simply requesting them to be moved from one part of the library to the other part of the library. This is not a book ban.
But others disagree, citing the resolution's plan to create a 21-member community review board to meet twice a year to review existing books and potential new additions. 7 council members, each allowed to appoint up to 3 people.
No 21-member committee that you all choose will ever agree on what worthy and safe is worthy and safe enough to be accessed by children in the libraries.
Now, if the resolution passes, it's still unclear whether there will be any requirements for the people to sit on that review board. And Colleen, just to recap, that public comment section started at 6:44 tonight. It is still underway as of just a few minutes ago. That means 4 hours, over 4 hours of people taking to the podium, most of them talking about this issue. After that, there are more agenda items, and then the council members will have their own discussion and take this to a vote. Reporting live in Huntington Beach, Macy Jenkins, NBC4 News.
All right, Macy, and I want to remind our viewers that we'll have the results of that vote tomorrow morning on Today in LA. New details on a deadly crash in Long Beach where police say a driver plowed through a group of pedestrians. This happened on Saturday night. Investigators say the driver was working as an Uber driver and actually had a passenger in the car when the crash happened. 60-year-old Romelia Aguilar died and several other people were injured here. The driver, Khalid Yacobi, was charged and has pleaded not guilty. He did that this afternoon. not guilty to vehicular manslaughter. Former wide receiver Terrell Owens, T.O., was hit by a car in Calabasas last night. Authorities tell us it happened after a pickup basketball game. They say there was some sort of argument between him and another player. That person then apparently struck Owens with a car. No one was hurt and no arrests were made. Take a look here. This exploding teddy bear helped lead officers to a drug bust and the arrest of a man in San Bernardino. You're looking at surveillance video of the explosion from September 14th. No word on why someone put the bear in the parking lot, but officers managed to track that man down, got a search warrant for the house. They say they ended up, when they searched the house, finding a ghost gun, more than 200 rounds of ammo, more than 1 kilo of meth, and illegal fireworks. All right, taking you outside, live look right now of the San Fernando Valley. Melissa McGee is back now with more in your First Alert forecast. Melissa?
Hi, Colleen. And as we get into the middle half of our work week, conditions will really heat up across much of our region. I want to show you the picture outside. Gorgeous shot tonight as we are looking live from Mount Wilson. You can see all of the lights twinkling below. And currently for the basin, we are coming in at 66 degrees. The winds are calm, but the visibility is down to 6 miles. We've got a dense fog advisory in effect for areas in Orange County until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So we'll talk about the current numbers. It's 69 in San Bernardino, 63 in Thousand Oaks, 70 in Van Nuys at this hour, 66 in Anaheim, and 65 degrees there in LAX. Satellite and radar showing you high pressure is really going to be the dominant feature as this works its way inland, and then we start to tap into a northeasterly wind. That's an offshore wind, and that's really going to warm our numbers up at the surface. So as you head away from the coast and the basin tomorrow, our inland valleys, even the Inland Empire, we've got a heat advisory posted for the orange shaded spots, San Bernardino all the way down to Temecula. It starts tomorrow. It continues into your Thursday. High temperatures easily in the mid to upper 90s. Long range futurecast showing you here's that ridge of high pressure as we get into our Wednesday, working its way inland across our region. And this will be the case even as we get into our Thursday. Now, by the end of our work week on Friday, ridge of high pressure starts to flatten out, and it does allow for more of an onshore flow. So the ridge will weaken by then. We do have that onshore flow, so turning cooler as well. Then we're back to fall as we get into our weekend. Here is the trend for Irvine. 80 degrees tomorrow. Then we've got numbers in the upper 80s as we get into our Thursday. Friday cooling down just a little bit, but look at these numbers really starting to feel more like the season we are in. Saturday and it's 78, 73 for you on your Sunday, and staying below average with numbers in the lower 70s even into early next week. So here's your forecast for the basin, Inland Orange County, and the coast. The basin tomorrow, areas of fog. We're starting to see that dense fog across Orange County tonight. 85 for the high temperature tomorrow, 76 for the coast. Temperatures will be in the upper 80s for the basin, so a hot one as we get into our Thursday. 79 for the coast. We'll start to cool it down just a little bit on Friday. Over the weekend, really fantastic, close to 79 degrees for the high temperature on Saturday for the basin, 72 for the coast, 74 for us on our Sunday, and more clouds moving in as we get into Monday for Los Angeles, the coast, and it's 69 by next Monday. The possibility of some showers, we'll keep you posted on that. The valleys, upper 90s the next couple of days, 97 for the Inland Empire. Then temperatures over the weekend cooling down into the 80s to start, the 70s as we get into our Sunday. So we're calling for a big 20-degree drop from tomorrow into the end of our weekend here. High desert 92, triple digits for the low desert tomorrow through your Friday, then cooling down into the 80s this time next Tuesday. Mountain 72 will hang out in the 70s right through your Friday. Then temperatures over the weekend in the 60s. Monday, a chance of some showers, cooling down to just 51. That is your forecast. Mario's up next with sports. What's going on, Talise?
Hey, McGee, I'm aware you know it all, but the Dodgers continue looking for answers. Plus, the Kings picking up their first win of the season. That is next on the Yamava NBC4 Sports Desk.
For 2 decades, Walt Disney Concert Hall has symbolized inspiration and imagination. It's a hub for celebrating new ideas and rediscovering timeless music. It's where artists and audiences come together in a space as extraordinary as Los Angeles. Come share in a season 20 years in the making at Walt Disney Concert Hall. Tickets at laphil.com.
The Kia EV6 was named 2023 North American Utility Vehicle of the Year. So consider this our victory lap. Lease a new 2023 EV6 Wind for $399 a month.
Rediscover your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino. No matter what your game is, the excitement and relaxation you're looking for is here. So get back to the fun at Pechanga Resort Casino.
There are accidents.
And there are accidents.
If you've been in a life-changing accident, you may need special care for years.
That's where we come in. Nobody handles serious injury cases like the law offices of Larry H. Parker. We'll fight for you.
Did you ever dream of seeing the wonders of the world? Breathtaking landscapes, historic ruins and treasures, incredible creatures. Look no further than the Florida Keys. There is no place on earth as magical, as colorful, or as unforgettable as the Florida Keys and Key West.
You had to buy something. He's your brother.
Where are we supposed to hang it?
In the attic? Facing the wall?
Thoughtfully designed to store what you need and say what you want. Experience luxury like never before with Infinity Premium Care, included with the 2023 Infinity QX60 at your local retailer.
This is the Yamava Sports Desk on NBC4 with Mario Solis.
The last few days have been full of difficult moments for the Dodgers, and today the front office came out to talk about their disappointing season. They didn't say much because they're just as baffled as we are. Andrew Friedman talked about whether this season was an organizational disaster.
I think it's fair to say it's an organizational failure. It doesn't mean that there weren't successes and a lot of things to grab onto and a lot of special memories that were created throughout this summer that I think are real. That being said, our goal was to win 11 games in October, and we didn't win one. So we need to figure out what we can do differently. We've got meetings starting tomorrow to really get into things and try to put ourselves in the best position.
So don't expect big changes. However, Friedman did say they will focus on improving the starting rotation, and they would love to see Clayton Kershaw come back if he wants. Friedman also confirming that Dave Roberts will return for season number 7 as a Dodgers skipper. The Dodgers, as you know, were swept by the D-backs, who were routed tonight by the Phillies in Game 2 of the NLCS. Kyle Schwarber with a night to remember, hitting not one but 2 home runs. Philadelphia wins 10-0 to grab a 2-game series lead. Game 3 is Thursday night in Phoenix. Cool news in high school football. This year's CIF Division I championship game will be held at the Coliseum. First time in 26 years for a prep game to be played inside the Trojans' home. Important chapter in boxing is coming to an end. Showtime Boxing is shutting down after a 37-year run. Showtime Sports held an emotional Zoom meeting yesterday to make an internal announcement that production will cease at the end of the year, which includes Bellator MMA. So the two pugilistic powerhouses are out. First HBO Boxing, now Showtime. Many blame it on promotional rivalries, lack of compelling fights, and the emergence of UFC. Back with more right after this.
It's in our very nature to seek the excitement of the unexpected, an endless yearning to experience what lies beyond the everyday.
Win a 2023 Range Rover Sport or up to $100,000 from Yamava Resort and Casino in San Manuel every Thursday in October. Not a Club Serrano member? Join for free and be a part of USA Today's #1 best casino outside of Las Vegas. Details at Yamava.com. Mark 21. Please gamble responsibly.
Hi, I'm David Simpson. At the Simpson family of dealerships, you'll find experience count.
I like that it's family oriented and that we build a relationship with our customers.
I like helping out my customers getting their cars back out on the road.
What I like best about working at Simpson is that we're all family.
Why would I work anywhere else?
At the Simpson family of dealerships, we're big enough to deal.
Small enough to care.
At
Ultimate, we take care of you so you can spend more time doing what you love. This open enrollment season, we want to help you make smart choices regarding your healthcare. Call us to go over your options, including Medi-Cal, Medicare, and private insurance, so that you and your family can live fully and grow healthy at any age.
Did we just get hustled? There's no way they were 70.
Interesting. It's both an electric and a gas car.
Yep.
Quite the paradox.
The first ever Lexus RX plug-in hybrid. Electric for short trips, gas for long. It really is both.
Lease the 2023 RX 350 for $499 a month for 36 months.
After losing the first 2 games of the season at home, the Kings hit the road. And tonight in Winnipeg, they got their first win. Pierre-Luc Dubois, who was traded to LA by the Jets, scoring his first of the year, giving the Kings an early 1-0 lead. 5 minutes later, Trevor Moore, the pride of Thousand Oaks, scoring the first of his 2-goal night. Kings win it 5-1. 1 week from tonight, the Lakers will open the NBA's regular season in Denver against the world champion Nuggets. And what do you know? Denver in town tonight, taking on the Clippers in a preseason game at the Crypt. Nuggets resting all their starters. Clippers did not. Paul George leading the way with a game-high 23. Clippers win it 116-103. Same 2 teams go at it again on Thursday.
This was the Yamava Sports Desk on NBC4 with Mario Solis.
To New York, baby! It's premiere week on Kelly. Next Kelly, Arnold Schwarzenegger, plus Elmo and Oscar the Grouch. It's Muppets and Muscles. Like that.
Tomorrow at 2 on NBC4.
CeeLo Green live November 10th. Get tickets now. Morongo!
In 2022, the all-electric Hyundai Ioniq 5 won the award for World Car of the Year. So, of course, the all-electric Hyundai Ioniq 6 just had to go out and win World Car of the Year for 2023. World Car of the Year 2 years in a row. And both now come with a complimentary EV charger and up to $600 installation credit. You know how competitive sibling rivalries can be.
서울 에디션 23 New Tradition. 과거의 패션은 다시 태어났고 전통시장 아니 핫플레이스지. 갖고 싶지 않아? 서울 make it yours.
We made it! BMO has arrived.
Hello?
You said it. Hello to more ways to save money, grow your wealth, grow your business.
Just what we needed, another big bank.
Not so fast. How many banks do you know that reward you for saving every month?
He's got a good point.
Did I mention BMO has more fee-free ATMs than the 2 largest U.S. banks combined?
BMO?
Just BMO, actually. Quick question. Will all this stuff fit in your car? Should I get rid of the mug?
BMO. Escape to the moment when memories were served family style. The moment that hearts melt over melted chocolate. And the moment that victory tastes the sweetest. Our world-famous Pizookie, only at BJ's Restaurant and Brewhouse.
If you watched the Chargers game last night, you probably saw this, and you know the energy was electric at SoFi Stadium, especially for one woman. Her excitement went viral. It started a social media frenzy. Then rumors started swirling that she wasn't actually real. She was a paid actor. Well, we tracked her down, and here's what she said.
This is as real as I can be. I think this is how I am on the sideline when my kid is playing flag football. This is me on the sideline at a soccer game for 5th graders. And so this is me passionate about my Chargers. And so if I wish I could act, I can't, and this is where it is.
No one enjoyed the game more than she did. She says her love for the Chargers stems from watching former QB Philip Rivers. Tonight's show is next.